The time is upon us, the consoles are almost here, and this is why I think Microsoft and the Xbox One will win the showdown. What is going on, guys and girls? It is GhostRobo, and we are just a few short weeks away from the release of the PS4 and the XB1, and I could not be more excited. It is going to be an incredibly exciting holiday season for gamers everywhere, and I'm here today to tell you why I think the Xbox One could take the prize of this first battle. They have a lot going for them, and I've been exploring it for quite some time. Let me tell you why. First and foremost, Xbox One has a bunch of games. For 2013 and 2014, they have a bunch of games. Microsoft has gone crazy with the money throws, putting out cash everywhere to secure exclusives and wrap up some of the biggest titles, the first of which is the freaking incredible Titanfall. But we'll get there soon. What I want to start off with is just sort of the clout that Microsoft has built up with its online community. I think that's something that cannot be ignored. And when you're talking about a next-gen Call of Duty, you're talking about a next-gen Madden, the first time people play Battlefield 4 and NBA 2K and all these games on a new system, their familiarity and their investment in Xbox Live has to be an important factor. I know the system is $500. I know they kind of lost on the price battle. But if you already have an Xbox Live Gold account, if you already have points and dollars invested in that ecosystem, why would you shift? You wouldn't. Call of Duty Ghosts will be an Xbox game. It's going to be on both systems, but just like the current Call of Duties, it'll be thought of as an Xbox game. A lot of kids who play Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, and Modern Warfare, and all that on the 360 are going to just shift over to the Xbox One. It's not even going to be a choice for them. All their friends are there. That's what they're used to. That's what they're familiar with. That's where their dollars are being spent, and they're just going to stick with it. And I think that's a factor that a lot of people are not considering. They go and say, oh, Sony has won the mindshare battle. Sony this, Sony that. Microsoft kind of flubbed things up. But they forget that a lot of the biggest games really showcase on Xbox 360, and you got to imagine that's going to be the same on Xbox One. They also have a lot of cool exclusives to back it up. Dead Rising 3 is looking better and better. That online co-op is going to be a lot of fun, and they have a lot of more niche titles as well. Forza 4 looks gorgeous, Killer Instinct will appeal to a certain audience, and I think they're in real prime shape, especially knowing that Titanfall is right around the corner. No matter if it's not out at launch, that's fine. People are going to buy the system, make that investment with the future in mind. You don't just drop $500 out of thin air, out of the blue. You're going to look and think. And Titanfall has been getting more positive buzz, more hype than just about any game I can remember. Whether it was E3, Gamescom, PAX, the public display, the private display, this thing has shown perfectly. It has great developers, great names behind it, and has the chance to be the juggernaut that we've been waiting for, something to really challenge Call of Duty since the inception of that game pretty much, especially during the current generation. Titanfall releases early next year in the spring, and I think that's going to be the game changer. I really do. And having that out on the horizon is really good for Microsoft and really good for Xbox One. So the system costs a little bit more. It also comes with Kinect. And from a mom and pop, grandpa standpoint, that might be attractive to them when they see that cool camera in box. I'm sure it's going to be displayed, and I'm sure it's going to be demoed at places like Best Buy. As someone who has worked at Best Buy, I know accessory sales and more expensive products are the favorites of sales associates to push upon customers. And whether that's fair or not, it's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox One is the preferred choice from a lot of these retailers in terms of what they're trying to sell, what they're trying to move. Also, there is a lot of games coming out. Stuff like Sunset Overdrive, stuff like Quantum Break, a lot of games from big developers, not to mention Halo and some of the big Microsoft franchises you come to know and love. I trust them when it comes to securing exclusives. They've always been good at it. They've always been willing to dole out money. You know, Titanfall is the biggest get they could have possibly got. And Sony doesn't have anything really coming out next year. Sure, Infamous Second Son is going to be awesome. Hands down, one of my most anticipated games. But beyond that, what do they have? They've talked about The Order, and what else? I mean, we know Naughty Dog is hard at work on something. But what else is there? What else do we have to look forward to from Sony? They've got a bunch of indie games, but Microsoft is getting on board with that as well. You know, they're opening up their platform for development. They're encouraging indies to sign up on board, and they've really reversed course on a lot of the negative press and PR that they had for so long. They changed the focus of the system. They listened to consumers, even if it didn't, you know, really work for everybody. They did what was in the majority's best interest and got rid of the online-only requirement, got rid of the digital-only requirement, put all the stuff that people wanted back in the box, and said, here is the system you desire, we're ready to present it to you. And I think that means something. Ever since that horrible unveiling and E3 debacle, they've been winning over and over again. They show great at all the events, the games. They even recently announced a boost to their hardware power, so the difference between the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is smaller than it's ever been. People are familiar with developing on the Xbox platform. Why go away from it? There really isn't going to be that much difference between the systems. There really isn't in terms of a technical difference. You're not going to really be able to notice it, especially with so much multi-platform development. What you are going to notice, though, is exclusives. And I haven't heard much from Sony on that front. Sure, they've secured a lot of smaller games. Their downloadable marketplace will be filled with lots of fun and creative titles like it always has been. But when it comes to the big games, the ones that show up on TV, the ones that show up during NFL games, that is what Microsoft is good at. And speaking of the NFL, they have some cool partnerships with big brands that I think will impact purchasing decisions, especially from parents. The television integration, the NFL integration, a lot of that stuff could mean something to a number of people. And I think putting the Kinect in the box, while it doesn't really appeal to me, could be a cool move for them. You know, they had some success with the Kinect for Xbox 360, and now having the thing really be in final full form, it could do damage. I sort of see Kinect 1.0 as the beta for Kinect 2.0, where now you have full finger recognition, much better voice recognition, multi-person recognition, and sort of all the features they've been hoping for now fully integrated into that piece of hardware. Yeah, it's not the prettiest system, but it does have a top-tier controller. The thing fits in your hands perfectly, and while the sticks might be a little bit small for my taste, the buttons feel great, the layout is perfect, they got that added rumble in the back of the controller, and I think it's gonna really win the hearts of a lot of hardcore gamers when it comes down to what are you gonna put your fingers on for hours and hours at a time. And I just think if you look at things, that Xbox Live effect is huge. Sony is gonna really try and showcase their online services and say, hey, we've got PlayStation Plus, we've got free games. Microsoft is doing it as well. I think they're really committed to being an aggressive and active participant in the sales community, in the digital downloads community, and in the freebies community. I think unifying their store, going with a much faster and cleaner interface should really do them some good and hopefully allow them to create more of a Steam-like platform that they were initially envisioning when they first revealed the Xbox One. You know, yeah, they've taken out the online only. Yeah, they've taken out the digital only. But they're still working with those ideas. There's still some of that stuff shaking around in that box, and I'm sure they'll add a lot of it back. And I think the future of Xbox One could potentially be more exciting than PlayStation 4. And even though I, for one, really like the idea of a dedicated gaming box, all those other apps and features and factors are going to play a role in the media blitz that the Xbox One puts forth both this holiday season and in the future. It releases a week later in the United States, but it has the edge in some of the other major markets around the world, and that is important. Even if it is more expensive, it's still a shiny new box, and people are going to want to shell out dollars for it, so I wouldn't be too worried about their $100 disadvantage, if that's what you want to call it. I think the games speak for themselves, I think the exclusives down the road speak for themselves, and I think Xbox Live and sort of the big games always being thought of as Xbox titles is really important and something that's going to carry Microsoft forward throughout this year and next. And then when Titanfall launches, it's a whole different story once again. I don't know how Sony overcomes that. Infamous is really cool. There's no way Infamous pushes the same numbers that Respawn's Titanfall will. There's just no way. I might even like Infamous better, to be perfectly honest, but there's just no way it matches Titanfall in terms of system seller capability, in terms of millions upon units, franchise creating power that that game will have. So what do you guys think? Do you agree that Microsoft will win the opening rounds of the console wars, or do you think Sony has what it takes to stand their ground and maintain the momentum that they gained back at E3? Let me know in the comments below. I'm eager to hear your thoughts and excited to know if you guys plan on picking up an Xbox One. I am so stoked for the next generation. I will be there on launch day for both systems, ready to unveil them for you, unbox them for you, explore all the games with you guys, and really just have a bunch of fun. It's going to be a magical holiday season, and I'm super excited to be sharing it with you. There hasn't really been a major console launch since I started YouTube. Sure, the Wii U came out, but that was kind of underwhelming. There's been some handheld stuff, but like, wow, bang, big new Microsoft, Sony consoles. We've yet to experience that, and I think it's just going to be bananas. So join me for that. I'm sure I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're pumped for Xbox One, add to your favorites. And don't forget to let me know in the comments below what you think about Microsoft's new platform and their chances of success for this fall. I think they'll do well. I really do. And you can check out my Sony video as well for why they have a chance to take the crown. Annotation up top, link in the description. Until next time, though, guys and girls, thanks so much for watching. Drink so much chocolate. Have a fantastic day. Hope you're all doing well. And we will see you all later.